I'm Local Hippie, and today I'm going to be filming a video essay on the one and only Magnolia Parks. This is one of my favorite books for sentimental reasons. I got tabs in here, tabs from my first ever read of the book where I just dived into it and I just read the crap out of that thing in like two like I don't even know, like 2 3 days maybe. I think it took me to read it the first time around. But the name of this video essay is going to be Hurt People, um Magnolia Parks, obviously, and they're going to be spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, then you probably shouldn't watch. But this book has been out for a super long time, so I'm pretty sure everybody that you know knows about it has read it at this point, and so it's not really spoilers, but spoilers nonetheless. So my first point is hurt people. Um, so Magnolia and BJ, they start out. It's not like they start and something happens and they like, no, they're already broken up, and BJ has already messed up their relationship, and they already have their little thing where BJ sleeps with people and Magnolia dates boys. Um so 5 years into Magnolia and BJ's relationship, he cheats on her unprovoked. He really does. He does it for no reason at all. Like every time Magnolia asks him, "Why did you do it?" Like I need to know why you did it so that she can kind of reconcile it in her head, which is an attitude that a lot of people don't seem to understand. And I think that's coming from a perspective of people not ever being in a relationship where somebody has done that to them or has cheated on them and they love them, you know, because when you really love someone, even if they do something so terrible like that, like, you still sort of want to be with them when you love them, because that's not just going to make you stop loving them. Um, So she has to know, she wants to know why he did it. And he doesn't have a reason because he literally just did it for no reason at all. Like, no reason whatsoever. This is the turning point in their relationship where everything goes haywire. And I have a quote from the book, Magnolia saying, "It's because I'm weak. I think it's easier to be his friend than not to be." Cited from page 108, chapter 12, if you ever wanted to go and look at what she's saying. So she's explaining why it is that she can't just let BJ go. Because if she were to let BJ go, that means letting go of their entire friend group. And I'm gonna get to their friend group later in the points, but those people are not her friends. Magnolia has no friends, if I'm being completely honest. No friends at all. When they say no honor amongst thieves, that's what they mean. Okay. Um, And I think there's a lot of truth to this, but more so, I think both parties are hurt until they hurt each other. Hence the name of the point, Hurt People, Hurt People. The starting point being BJ's infidelity, though throughout the book, I believe the author tries to convince us that what he did wasn't the catalyst for this destruction or for the destruction of their bond when it undoubtedly was. And that's so true because throughout the book, whenever Magnolia and BJ have issues and BJ's upset, he's like, "Yeah, well, you hurt me too." It's like, well, that doesn't, because you did it first, and either one of them could have just been like, "You know what? I want to hop off this ride of this relationship," and hopped off at any point. But instead, they just want to point fingers at each other and keep hurting each other because it's easier to be together hurting each other than it is to be apart, still being hurt by each other because they miss each other and whatnot. Um, but the thing is like Magnolia would have never, and another thing is that I really, okay, Magnolia would have never started dating other people had BJ not have cheated. And let's not pretend that dating and having sex with people are not two different. Let's not pretend that they're the same, that they're on the same field, because they're not. You're dating people, you're going out with people. That's entirely different from you sleeping with someone. You can't get an STD from just dating someone. You can't get multiple STDs from just dating someone. Okay? So let's not, like, Jessa tries to put it, the author, Jessa tries to put it on an even playing field, the fact that Magnolia is dating other people and BJ is sleeping with people. And everybody tries to treat Magnolia like, oh, you're just playing with all these boys' feelings. And it's like, no, because she's just dating them. It's not the same. Okay, but nobody blames BJ. Nobody is yelling at BJ, calling BJ man whores and all the names, and people are always calling Magnolia all types of horrible names just because she dates people. Not have mercy. Okay. Of course, neither of them are perfect. They're both immature, but that plays into the whole hurt people theme. They both need healing and intense therapy, not each other, which is so true. They need to get therapy because obviously they will continue to hurt one another as demonstrated in the book, and they do. They just keep hurting each other, even into the next book, Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home. They just keep hurting each other. Point two is trauma bonds. As quoted from the book, it's getting a bit old, don't you think? Bridget, Magnolia's sister, asks BJ. He gives her a mouthy but none too witty response, and Bridget goes on. No one needs as much sex as you have, even if they do, which they don't, by the way, because if they needed it, that would be an addiction. Are you an addict? She goes on to add, but let's say for shits and giggles, you did need it. You don't need to tell her every time you have it. You tell her to hurt her. And lastly, she says, you need a therapist, which is so true. They just keep wanting to hurt each other. And the whole point here is that they both need therapy because they're just going to keep going on in this cycle. That was an abridged version of that conversation. I just wanted to get Bridget's commentary because it said everything that I wanted to about the subject. They just need therapy. Um, these two people, they're trauma bound and they don't need each other. They actually need professional help because people who are in love don't hurt each other the way that these two do. It's a cycle and they cannot stop even if they wanted to because they're both immature, they're inexperienced, and to them this is love, and that's not what love feels like. A therapist would help them see that this isn't love and that it's the opposite, and it's really just like hate corn. So, and then my last point is the friend group. That awful, awful friend group. The box set, they call themselves. It's one thing to be in love with a serial whoremonger. I dare to say a gigolo. But what makes this all worse is that Magnolia has no friends. Her best friend Paley is the one that BJ treated with. And this is a quote from the book. She jerks away out of my arm grip. Did you sleep with my best friend? She yells, and the room halts to silence. The talking stops, the volume sucks away, cutlery changes places. Everyone stares. Yes, Paley says from behind us, pulled from page 44, chapter 67. Her best friend slept with BJ. And it's so crazy because one of the conflicts in this book is between BJ and Christian, which is a friend from the box set, because Magnolia and Christian had a little thing together. They didn't sleep with each other, but they came very close to it. And BJ was upset about it. And I'm just like, wait, when you slept with Magnolia's literal best friend, what? And the way the friends treat Magnolia as if she was the reason their relationship falls apart, as if she's hurting BJ so much and she's so evil because she's just trying to protect herself by dating people. It's not like she's sleeping with them. She's just dating them. The way they treat her is just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Her other best friend knew and covered it up. And it was crazy. Like, and Magnolia was asking BJ the whole time, like, just tell me, just tell me, just tell me. And he would not tell her what happened, who he slept with, because he knew that she would like flip out if she knew that it was her best friend. She probably would have just not been friends with Paley ever again and continued to be with BJ if he had just told her the truth. So, in conclusion, I enjoyed the book, and Jessa Hastings did a great job writing a compelling story which raises emotion in the reader, but her character building skills need some work to say the least, because I don't see BJ and Magnolia together and getting the happy ever after she so desperately wants us to believe they have. I, as the reader, just don't see it. And it's so true, I don't see it because they're so immature. And maybe once I read Into the Dark, she'll wrap it up very nicely, but these two are very immature, they're very toxic, and they just have no business being in relationships with anybody. And they need to reevaluate their friend group because it's so crazy. One of the things she was very proud of was the fact that she wrote the book in 2 weeks. And it definitely, in some regards, reads like a book that was written in 2 weeks. Like, it could have been 100 pages shorter, maybe even 150 pages shorter. Because if you just take out some of these very repetitive conflicts, the book would easily be so much shorter and so much more enjoyable and so much more potent than stretching it out and having the same things happen over and over and over again. And so, with that, Magnolia Parks was one of my favorite books ever. But I think after trying to reread this book 2 times now and just failing both times, I think I just have to come to terms with the fact that it's just not what I thought it was. It was just a very sentimental book to me because, as I've said before, I understand what it's like to be in a relationship like that. Um, but it's definitely not something that I think I would read over and over and over again in my life, because as I grow and as I mature, it just seems more and more childish to me and more toxic, just exceedingly toxic and annoying. So with that, the book, I think I'll give it like 3 stars. It was once 5, so that's crazy, but 3 stars. And that's gonna bring us to the end of the video. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good evening. And most importantly, I hope you read a good, non toxic book. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Bye.